episode of Financial Freeway. My name is David J. Atwood, the man rocking the Ray-Bans. And today we are on a road trip up island in probably the hardest rain we've seen all year. It's been quite the day. Went downtown to with my daughter. She had an appointment, and she drove all the way from Courtenay, which is quite a drive, by the way. Showed up last night, we had dinner, it was great. But then when we got downtown, they, without telling her, canceled the appointment. So I thought, that is awful. But we're gonna take our road trip up island to drop her off back at her place in Courtenay, BC. So it's a day on the road. Looking forward to that. Got great excuse to eat junk food, because what else can you do? Your hands are tied. So today I wanted to talk about, I've been talking with a lot of people recently about investing and how to get started investing. And it's a foreign world, and it's almost like having to learn a new language when we talk about investing. And I've spent the last, like 8 years, trying to dissect it and learn more about it for myself. Now, I'm lucky. I do actually work with people who are hardcore investors. Some guys do day trading. They buy, they short companies, things that I'm still not comfortable doing. I'm the kind of guy who buys and holds. I've got diamond hands, is what they call that. So I buy stock and I hang on to it for a long time. I am not the guy to be playing the market at all. It's too scary for me. There's too much risk. I buy and hold for the long term, because I truly believe that in order to have a safe and comfortable life, you need to have a really good amount of money set aside for your rainy day fund. So, excuse me. So I want to start breaking it down and make it really simple for everyone listening, so they get a really basic idea of where to start. Now, for me, I've talked about before about putting money away for your pension into your RSP for your retirement. But what does that look like? Well, when you put it into an RSP, what does it look like? Well, if you get an app like Questrade or Wealthsimple, you can put money into your RSP fund, but it's just like a bank account. It's not doing anything. So you need to use that RSP as a vehicle in order to invest into some companies. So the money you put into your RSP, first off, is tax deductible, which means you don't pay taxes on that money. And you can do that up to 18% of the money you make. So if you made $100,000, you can put $18,000 into your RSP and not pay taxes on that, which brings down your taxable income $18,000 to $82,000. Instead of paying taxes on $100,000, you pay taxes on $82,000. This episode isn't about taxes, so we're not going to go too deep into that, but I want to talk about how to invest inside your RSP. So there's lots of ways to do it. There's lots of things you can invest when you get into these apps, and it is still kind of uncharted foreign territory for a lot of you. But it's really, you got to think of it like yourself as a bank. I was thinking the other day about how banks work. When I was younger, I thought banks held money, and you invested them, you put money into the bank, and then the money at the bank would lend it out to other people. But that's not all the bank does. The bank also buys other companies. It finds all different types of revenue streams in order to make the most amount of money for its shareholders. And it's not just simply lending money out to other people. So they're buying companies, they're buying stocks, bonds, government treasury bonds, things like that. So I kind of think of myself as something like that. That's what I'm doing. I'm kind of, in my investment strategy, I want to buy a lot of stuff to mitigate my risk, but still leave myself open to getting the gains that you want from when a business does really well. So to simplify this, what you can invest in is a thing called an ETF, or an exchange traded fund. And I've talked about this before on the podcast. I know I have. An ETF is basically a company, or sorry, like a portfolio or a folder that has inside of it hundreds of different types of businesses. So you're not just buying one business. You're not buying a share in Dave Atwood Corporation, where, you know, one day Dave Atwood decides to get a cold or breaks his leg. Now he can't hang the drywall, and now his company goes, the stock prices go down. That's not it at all. When you're buying an ETF, you're buying a portfolio or a folder that has hundreds of different businesses in it. And what that does is it mitigates the risk of you losing money. So when you put it in, you're more guaranteed to get to make the gains. Because if one company doesn't do well, you've got hundreds of other companies that are going to do okay and help keep that afloat, keep your investment on the right track. It's safe. It's a fun way to kind of get started. It's like, and I keep going back to safe, because you don't want to start risking your funds when you start investing. You don't want to start investing into a single company right away. This is just a nice, gentle way to ease yourself into the art of investing. So when you open up your app, you put money into your RSP portfolio, and then you're going to look for an ETF, an exchange traded fund. And that would be something like Vanguard or BlackRock, or something within the S&P 500 or the TSX 60. Those are just the Canadian and American versions of it. If you invest in those, your money is going to keep up with the stock market. So if the stock market does well, and on average the stock market does about 10% a year. Actually, I looked historically over the last 100 years, the stock market's actually done 11% every year. So my goal with my investment strategy is to get 10% back on my investment. So if I put $100 in, I want 10 bucks back. That's kind of the way I look at it. And so far it's working out. But for people starting out, I just want to see people go into their RSP, take 18% of their paycheck and put it into an ETF. Nice and simple, nice and light and easy. You don't have to worry about it. The money's going to be, it's still at risk. Your money is always at risk. Even if, like I was telling someone last night, even if you put it in a jar, in a safe, and don't touch it, that money is still at risk of losing value. So if you put this into your ETF, your 18% for your RSP, you are going to be leaving yourself open to actually gains, which you don't have if you save your money in the mattress. You're not open to any gains if you save it in the mattress. You're only open to loss. That's it. The risk you put in when you put it into the stock market, that risk, with risk comes the chance for opportunity. There's the risk of loss, and that's really important to understand when it comes to investing. But if you think about historically over a lifetime of investing, and this is my strategy, is to invest for the long term. If you think historically, if you're going to get 11% on your investments, then you're going to do really well. It's the way to go. So now 18% might be a lot for someone right now, but if you start looking at your funds, you might be able to squeak out at least 10% of your income and be able to put it into an RSP. So if you're making $2,000 a month in your on your income, then you should be able to put $200 away into your RSP and into your future, into your pension, into your retirement fund. It's really important. But this is just a simple way to get used to the idea of investing. Now, the way to do this is very simple. With the app I use, and I'm not sponsored by Wealthsimple, but I use Wealthsimple because it is a very easy, intuitive app to use. I have it set up so every 2 weeks, money comes out of my account and goes into my Wealthsimple app. It goes into the different apps, and then I choose which funds to purchase on these days from that. So it goes directly from my bank account, where my paychecks are deposited, goes into the Wealthsimple app, and then buys the ETF funds, the exchange traded funds. And it just slowly does that. That is the very first thing to learn about investing. I want to keep it simple today, keep it light. On the next episode, I'll talk about investing in individual stocks, more like blue chip. But right now, I just want to focus on the ETFs and indexed funds, where your money can be a little bit more safe, but you still get the chance to take advantage of the gains within the stock market. I hope that's pretty straightforward. If it's not, leave me a comment down below and I'll try to respond to it. No, I will respond. I won't try. There's no try. There's only do. I will respond to it because I think it's important that people understand these things. So let me know if you like what you heard today. Give me a thumbs up if you did. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Also, another thing, check out financialfreeway23.ca. That's our website. That's where all the resources are. That's where we have all the books to be reading in order to get your Master's of Business Administration while you're commuting to work. We've got that program up and running, 100% free. All the information about investing and basically just on ideas and thoughts on how to, and theories on how to have a successful and abundant life. Check it out. If you haven't subscribed to the video, make sure you subscribe, because that's just awesome and it helps. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your rainy day. God bless.